And I was going to take the high road and just say thank you and leave.
Don't take the high road, Paul.
But I have something to say to you! I've waited a long time to say this! I almost forgot about you!
I'll do things differently. I make my own rules because it's much easier that way. You made a mistake by turning your back on me because I don't play no game.
One more time for old time's sake! Right there so the whole world can see us!
And welcome to what, the 4th episode of Oh No Wrestling?
Already number 4.
Already number 4, that's right. I'm pretty excited. My name is Owen. I'm the Shart Break Kid. And along with me tonight, as always, it's my good friend Duncan, the King of Bong Style, in the house, ready to recap some week's events of wrestling and just to talk some general wrestling bullshit. How's that sound? Does that sound good? I think that sounds all right.
That's the technical definition of what we do.
Yeah. Like if you didn't hear that, we put a lot of effort into our names, okay? So I want you to really digest them. The King of Bong Style, all right? That's Duncan. And I'm the Shart Break Kid.
The Shart Break Kid.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Because I'm not gonna lie, Duncan. I have been known to shart my pants.
Don't we all occasionally?
I think it's a rite of passage. I think it's I definitely don't think the Budweiser helps in matters much, but yes, no, I definitely think I think it's a rite of passage once you get past the age of 30. You're allowed to admit that you shart. Like even though you did it before, now you're allowed to.
Now you can definitely.
Now you can like confidently say it's
you're
okay.
An adult, like
yeah.
You're on the other side of you're going downhill now.
That's right. So man, we do have a lot of wrestling stuff to talk about, and we should just I guess hop right in like we do.
Yeah, to the fact that like what year were we in on Monday night?
I'm still trying to figure that out. I think I went back in time and I woke up in, I want to say 1998.
That's pretty accurate.
That's where I was at. I think I was, because the whole show of Raw, and it wasn't just one or two segments. It was a little bit of everything. Wouldn't you agree?
I would say so. Yeah.
It felt like an old school show. I mean, we're obviously going to get into some of the comedy aspects of it, especially with your favorites, Carl Anderson, Dr. Carl Anderson, and Gallows. Doctors. Kyoki, shut up. We're doing a podcast.
I know, we're doing a podcast. Be quiet.
Shut up. Get out of here, dog. No, she's just a big fan of the Attitude Era stylings of Raw. I think
definitely is.
And it's a he. I apologize. I always get your dog's gender wrong.
It's okay.
I think it's okay because your dog is kind of like, well, the size of my forearm, which isn't very big.
Yeah, my dog is slightly smaller than your cat.
But no, going back to the whole Raw thing, we have to definitely admit that yes, it was old school in the sense like we had these backstage, vignettes going on.
Like, a lot more backstage
segments, and the fact that Anderson and Gallows, the club's backstage vignette was in front of a green screen.
A green screen.
They haven't done that shit in years.
And dude, like as soon as it started happening, I was like, "Oh my god,
this is awesome!
This is amazing!" It was so funny.
And what's the craziest thing about that is right before it, you had that vignette with Balor. Right before that, the ring postitis vignette with Dr. Gallows and Dr. Anderson, you had this awesome explanation of Balor's demon from Balor himself.
After you had earlier in the night, Seth ripping down why, he didn't take Finn Balor seriously, and then to have Finn come back and respond in that way was like, it just goes to show that, as usual, when it comes to their package presentation, not a dick joke, the WWE knows what the fuck they are doing.
They really do. They still know what they're doing. They still know how to capture an audience, and I still enjoy it. That being said, I thought Raw was an okay show. It was an okay show. But
yeah, I mean, it was like I wasn't not entertained by it.
I think a lot of people are complaining about the fact that there was a lot of repeat booking from the week before.
I don't listen to what a lot of people say about wrestling. Like, I don't read any sort of. I've stopped watching any videos about it. Like, I don't read reactions or anything like that because honestly, the only reaction I care about when it comes to wrestling is mine.
No, for sure. And I think that's the way most people need to be. You like what you like. You don't like what you dislike. Whatever. It's fine.
Right.
I will say that I loved Balor's promo video. I loved every aspect about it. I thought it was a really cool explanation. And Seth's promo, he's at the top of his game right now. His promos are on point. I did think it was funny that, of course, he's calling out Finn for not using his real name. Like, Finn Balor, that's not your real name.
Yeah, it's like, neither is yours, Seth.
Yeah, what's his? It's something Lopez.
Tyler, what, Colby
Lopez is his real name. I mean, before Tyler Black, right?
Right.
So, yeah, no, his real name is, and obviously Finn's real name isn't that. It's something Devitt. It's another
Fergal.
Irish fucking
Fergal.
name. What is it?
Fergal. Fergal.
God damn it, Ireland. Stop it with your names. Just stop it. And stop it with Sheamus. Can he go away? Can we just not have Sheamus anymore? Is that fair?
Like, I don't know. At least they gave Cesaro and Sheamus a long time to put on a decent match.
They had a decent match, and honestly, Sheamus can be cool. He just needs, well, not cool, but he can be better. He needs to ditch what he's doing now. They need to totally stop having this every once in a while League of Nations kind of like thing happen.
Dude.
Like, just do away with that. I don't know. Sheamus needs some reinventing, and he just needs to kind of like.
Sad thing is he's been reinvented.
Yeah, and
it's happened multiple times where like Sheamus has gone away and then he comes back after a few months, either because of injury or because of repackaging. But he's also always kind of repackaged as the same. It's like he's Irish.
Let's talk about Raw in just a little bit. As far as the flow of the show, we had Jericho and Enzo pretty much starting the show out. So that was interesting. That was another interesting way. Like, yes, it was a repeat of the previous week, but very cool to see that they're giving some time for all those guys to be talking to each other.
Well, yeah, and also, like, you say repeat of last week, that's called extended storytelling.
Yeah, it needs to happen.
It does need to happen. It doesn't need to be, we're going to just rush through these fucking feuds in 4 weeks and then have a blow off at the pay-per-view and that's it. And then start a new one. Like, can we have a little bit of, like, maybe things take more than a month to get resolved?
No, I completely agree. And I love seeing these guys work together because it's awesome. I think all of them are good on the mic, and that includes obviously KO, Chris Jericho, Enzo, but it also includes Cass. I think Cass has gotten 10 times better than he was.
Absolutely.
I really think that he's got the confidence now to do it with or without Enzo, and I think he knows just kind of he's better with Enzo.
Well,
wouldn't
yeah, 'cause
anyone
he's got somebody
be.
to spout off of.
But no, I think he can hold his own just fine. I love that they're going down this road with KO and Jericho, like, because it obviously leads to probably a great feud later.
No, what it leads to is the internet being full of Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho memes right now.
Yeah.
And it makes me so happy.
No, you're absolutely right.
The one I sent you of the one, like, whoever made it, kudos to you. I hope you're listening.
Oh,
the
gosh.
one of the Jay and Silent Bob with their faces photoshopped over it, like, is just gold.
The internet's actually been on fire lately because, and we're going to have to talk about this. We're going to have to deviate. I'm sorry. This is something that makes me really happy.
Glorious. No, I won't give in till I'm victorious. And I will defend.
So, Duncan, not only is this probably my new favorite theme song, because it is so glorious. The internet has taken hold of it after, what are their names from NXT? Ciampa and, it begins with a G. Oh, people are going to hate me. Gagorno? Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know who I'm talking about. They're a tag
yeah.
team. Well, they've been fucking with Bobby Roode left and right. And anytime he's, like, trying to, like, train in the gym, they're just sneaking up behind him when he's not paying attention. I'm blasting his theme song at him. and it is the funniest thing. I love the way they're waking him up with it. He's trying to take a shit, and they're going in the bathroom, and they're just, of course, going with...
Glorious. No, I won't give in till I'm victorious. And I will defend, and I'll do what I must.
I have a request.
It's so good. It's so good. I'm sorry.
No. I think that we might need to redo the Oh No Wrestling theme song.
Yeah, we might.
We might need a glorious remix.
Well, I feel like our theme song's constantly going to be evolving anyway, so nothing is out of the question, my friend.
No, definitely not.
Do you love it as much as I do, though?
I think it just screams old school wrestling to me.
But it's so well produced.
No,
and
no.
just-
I mean that in the best of ways.
Okay, good. Okay, because I was at first, I thought you were a little on the fence, and it took another one of my friends. Like, I'm like, dude, have you heard it yet? And I sent it to him. He's just like, and then all of a sudden, like, it took him a day. But then he starts sending me glorious memes. Like, wait a minute, I thought you didn't think you liked it. You know, I thought you were bagging on it. And like all of a sudden he's like, no, it's good. It's awesome.
Well, and it's fitting.
See, that was his argument, is that he didn't think it fit Bobby Roode. And I completely disagree. I think it's perfect for him.
Yeah, I think it's perfect. Like, it's...
Especially with the way that they're going with him in NXT as being the hot shot, being this guy, you know, that's already an established veteran, that's, you know, Mr. Perfect. Hate to use those terms, but
right.
You know what I mean? It is
definitely.
But it is totally, that's what he's playing, and this song couldn't be more appropriate.
Absolutely. No, I love it. And what's also, it's one of those songs that, like, it's perfect for right now, and it'll be perfect in a few years after he has a gimmick change and then goes back to it and revisits it. Come on,
exactly.
Like, that shit is huge.
You got to look down the long road, the
exactly.
long winding road of wrestling. Like, that's what it's all about. I will say that he's going to make many a wife very, very angry, because who hasn't or won't do this, especially once I say it, when you unzip your pants and you pull out your cock, you're going to have your phone in your hand with the theme song ready, and you're going to do it, and you are. Every one of you listening is going to do that, and
you better do it.
And you're going to smile, and you're going to say, "Thank you, Owen. I because that is indeed, well, I love it, dude. It's glorious.
And then it gets all heavy.
Oh, it's my favorite. It's my favorite. It's almost like a Queen song.
No, it's almost like a Queensryche song.
Whatever.
Glorious. No, I won't give in. I won't give in till I'm victorious. And I will defend.
The best part about all the videos though of when they're fucking with him and he's trying to work out or whatever he's doing is he's pissed at first, but it just takes him like 10 seconds and then he starts nodding to it. Like he starts like, all right, yeah, fuck yeah, I'm into it. That's my favorite part.
I think that's the best sign that you could possibly hope for is that like you get angry, but then you're just like, nah, this song is fucking good.
This is fucking badass. This is my song. This is me right here.
All right. Aside from Bobby Roode, top 3 favorite theme songs of like active theme songs.
Active theme songs right now.
Yes.
I gotta go Nakamura. I love it. Loved it since the second I heard it. And I love Sami Zayn's. I think it's so cheesy it works.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a punk rock song, which is what it's trying, or ska song. It's not any of that. It's like a song from the beginning of a fucking anime cartoon or something, but
kinda.
But I still kind of like it's like Jap pop, I guess. Is that
J-pop? Don't say Jap.
Oh, that's that not right?
No. That's insensitive, Mr. Trump.
My bad.
That's
and then I have to go Bray Wyatt.
Really?
I love Bray's song. I think it's so.
You know the story behind that.
I think you told me once, and I've read a little bit. Didn't he just like kind of find it? Like,
he found it. It was on like a like the dude that wrote it put it up on a
like a SoundCloud or something.
Well, no, he put it up on a like a please buy this kind of thing.
Oh yeah,
like
yeah.
One of those websites where it's just like, hey, if somebody wants it, they can buy it. And Wyatt found it. Loved it.
It's funny you mentioned I've looked that guy up before, the creator of the music. I forget his name.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Oh shit! No, damn it. I actually knew it at one point, but because I looked up some of his stuff and it was totally different. Like it was more. I guess it's kind of like it's really solemn indie stuff, honestly. Like it's kind of got like a folky vibe.
Oh, that's a big fucking surprise.
But it's nothing grabs you like that song. And I guess WWE just like what they just bought the rights to it and it's theirs now. Like is that?
I mean, I guess I don't know.
I'm assuming that's probably what happened.
Okay, my 3 active right now. I have to go with. I love AJ's music.
Oh, AJ's is good.
AJ's is real good.
I don't get none.
Love that one. I also, man, like I'm not ashamed to admit it, but I'm a little kind of like,
okay.
Well, no, it's not that I'm ashamed to admit it. It's just like, I feel like there's 3 entrance themes that while they're all very different, they all have the same vibe. You know what I mean? There's Dean Ambrose, Kevin Owens, and Seth Rollins all have that
very similar. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like musically very similar. They might be totally different notes, but it's just like, wait a minute. But no, Kevin Owens is number 2. And then like John Cena, hands down.
Da, 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 da.
Dude, I will never not love the trumpets.
You love it. It's your weakness.
It.
If Duncan is ever in a bad mood, and this just goes out to any of his friends that might be listening in Denver that maybe just getting to know Duncan, if he's ever in a bad mood and he just needs a little sparkle, all you got to do is play those trumpets, and it'll wake him right up. It's been proven. I've proven this. It's a known theory.
Oh, it is. It's absolutely 100% accurate.
So, what did you feel about the jobbers getting intros this week, or the one anyway, against Braun?
I mean, yeah, whatever, dude. I guess
Okay,
I guess they
change
had some generic stock music that they needed to use up or something.
Is there a way with this latest like influx of the squash match and the reintroduction of the straight up jobber? Is there any way we can bring back Al Snow and start a reformed job squad?
Dude, have you seen Al Snow recently?
No, I don't think so. I mean, does he?
That motherfucker is retarded ripped.
No, is he? I thought you were gonna say he was like stupid fat or something, like got out of shape.
No.
What? He's like,
Dude, he's like he doesn't look like Al Snow.
does he still have the mustache and the two-tone beard thing?
No.
Ah, that was the best.
Like you look at Al, you're like, that doesn't look like Al Snow.
So he's wow.
Yeah, it's
I'd heard
wild.
he was doing some training of some sort, but I didn't know he.
Oh yeah.
You know when you hear, you can. Dusty Rhodes was training people till he died. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
Dusty.
for sure.
I mean, like, love you, Dusty, but you weren't in the best shape like ever, let alone towards the end of your life.
Yeah, but he was mostly training on like ring psychology.
Yeah. The stuff that actually really makes stars, not like. But I've heard like Al Snow is like the legit physical trainer of wrestlers. I think, and so that's I never really expected him to be jacked. So what's he even doing? Is he still wrestling there?
Yeah, he's doing independent stuff.
Come on, Vince. Bring Al Snow back. Make him like, have him do something with all these new jobbers. Let's bring
be back on Raw with Mick Foley.
Let's bring back the ugly guy from the first Braun Strowman match, the jobber that they had, the really ugly
James Ellsworth.
Yeah, let's bring him in, and you can be the first member of the job squad with Heath Slater.
Yeah, but dude, the reason the job squad worked was because those wrestlers were likable.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, it was Social Outcast before Social Outcast. Really.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
exactly. The Social Outcasts were the new job squad.
Yeah. And it didn't really work as well, especially.
No.
But I always like had a fondness for Al Snow. I don't know why. Like maybe it's because he had to eat his own dog, but
yeah.
But Head was always kind of funny, and I don't know. Al Snow's I don't know if that's a guilty, favorite wrestler, but not favorite, but you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if that's a guilty pick.
I was always entertained by Al Snow.
I never had anything against him. I just feel like in this day and age with everything going on with the jobbers, it'd be a great time to bring him back.
I agree. But also, Job Squad, very niche. Like, very niche. That wasn't a huge thing. They never got a huge push. We're nerds. We know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's what's weird is that even, like, in my early days of wrestling, I was still, like, I liked all the niche stuff, not more than I liked the main event.
The mainstream,
stuff.
like, whatever. Yeah, I get that. I do.
It's just that kind of wrestling fan I guess I am. Like, I'll love Cesaro until the day I die, because I think he's always going to remain a niche thing in a weird way, even if he becomes a world champion. Hopefully one day he will.
Yeah.
Universal champ.
I'm like, I love Cesaro too. I'm like, I don't know what that has to do with anything.
No, I know. I just feel like he's been pushed into that niche category that, like, not. Yeah, of course the internet fans love him, the smart fans do, but he's not. I don't know. I don't know that he gets over with everyone. Maybe now he's proving that he is and can.
Yeah, he's definitely getting there. Like, I think he's definitely getting there a lot more than he was. Like, the crowds are really hot for him. So
I just don't understand what that. I don't know. It kind of. it kind of screws Cesaro a little bit in that Rusev thing, you know, because he won the match against Sheamus on Raw, and then he goes
kind of bullshit.
Then he goes and, you know, fights Rusev, and then Sheamus runs in, and I forget. There's some sort of distraction or whatever. No, did Sheamus actually clock him? Did he get him with something? I can't remember. Either way, it was a Sheamus distraction that cost Cesaro the match, right? Like, we can agree with that.
Right.
I did like Daniel Bryan right before the match, though, when he came out to talk with Mick Foley, which was really pointless.
Yeah, that was great. Like, that
pointless but great.
Yeah, but I mean that just helps to build underlying tension between the two shows.
I loved him. I loved him saying, though, Daniel Bryan saying to, you know, Cesaro, like, you're underutilized on Raw, you know.
Oh, that was a great unscripted moment.
Mm-hmm. I like that they're doing that. I know you say you don't read or follow many other wrestling opinionated, you know, topics or shows, but have you kind of gathered that a lot of people are feeling that, like, Mick Foley isn't up for this job? Like, is maybe
I have not read. I mean, I'm
saying I don't agree with it. I don't agree with this sentiment. But yeah,
I've not read anything like that. Why would they? I don't know.
It's the argument that he's old and doddery and that he's like Mick Foley, but I'm like, yeah, but that's Mick Foley. Like he was kind of always not like losing his half of his gimmick was he's lost the plot, you know. So it's supposed, like, even if he does like stumble over a line or whatever, and I don't think he's doing a bad job at all. I think in his promos he's been pretty consistent, pretty good. I think it feels natural. I don't really get the criticism either. I was just wondering if you'd really even come across any of that.
Nah, mostly because I've just I don't care. Like,
no.
I love Mick Foley. Like, you know that he is one of my all-time favorites, and I think he personally, like, I loved him when he was the commissioner on Raw, and I like him as the GM on Raw now. And I think that that's only going to get better as he finds his stride with all of the superstars surrounding him.
I'd agree with that. Do you blame him for the Lana Rusev wedding segment?
Oh, dude.
Part of me loved the train wreck of it. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I'm not even gonna sit here and tell you that I didn't sort of. I was entertained at how bad it was.
It was so bad. Like, it was way worse than I anticipated it was going to be. I knew it was going to be bad.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, it's a wrestling wedding segment.
Wedding.
They
there
do
has
that.
Never been a good one.
I mean, God, you got to stop sending me gifts sometimes because you just crack me up. During that segment, this motherfucker sends me the gif of fucking Macho Man and Miss Elizabeth's wedding, or their wrestling wedding, and he's opening his gifts, and it's
we got
the
a blender.
Gift. Oh yeah, we got a blender.
Yeah, dude. Like, first of all, however these gifts are ending up on fucking our Facebook chat, thank you. That's all I have to say.
Oh, whoever's making those?
Oh, whoever is making it happen, like, just thank you. Second of all, it's not my fault that I've watched so much wrestling that I can immediately go to an applicable situation in a scenario. I'm like, oh, they're doing a wrestling wedding? Let's see. It's either going to be Macho Man and Miss Elizabeth, or it's going to be Triple H and Stephanie when he drugged her in Vegas, or Billy
Kane,
and Shawn.
maybe they can get like the weird,
the Kane, weird rapey Kane
Lita thing. You can get that in there.
I mean, there's a lot, but the point is no wrestling wedding has ever been good, and you know goddamn well if there is a cake on camera,
someone's going through that cake.
Face. Yeah.
I don't care if it's a birthday cake. I don't care if it's a Halloween cake. They don't even make those, but they will to make sure that you go through one.
Exactly. Exactly.
I love it too. She oversold like Shawn Michaels in the Hulk Hogan match, like back in the day.
Yeah.
She really went in there and got it good.
She did. She was like swimming in it.
And
And it was just like no, you're right. Like the finish of that was great. Roman did really well.
I'm gonna say I hate seeing him smile. That's the thing. Like I get what they were doing. Like this bit would have been perfect 4 months from now. I don't know that it's perfect right now because of the situation Roman's in, and it's like
First of all, the majority.
I don't like it when he's cheeky Roman. I do think he did a good job, in that segment. I think he's probably looked the best that he has in months. But I still don't like cheeky Roman. Like he doesn't really feel right.
I know, but you know what? Like ultimately, the thing to remember is that kind of that cheek sells T-shirts.
Mm-hmm.
It sells fucking toys. Sells tickets.
I understand completely why it's important after spending this much time and money on the guy to do something with him, and obviously like. It makes sense for him to sort of be in the U.S., title run with Rusev, and it's kind of like like those two are going to put on a good match. They're going to have the ability now. They're going to have the ability to have a great long-standing feud. Now, whether or not they let them do that or they go that direction is not up to me, obviously, but that's what I would like. I would like to see this go a long time, and I would like to see the shock. I really, really want WWE to do it, and I want Rusev to win this match at SummerSlam. I really think that's the final little bit of fuck you to Roman.
What they should have done in the first place is not made it a fucking title match right off the bat.
Yeah. Earn it.
That's exactly what they should have done. I don't think Rusev walks away from SummerSlam with that belt.
Neither do I, but I think it would actually be the smarter thing long term to build Roman. Not just to not bury Rusev, but to build Roman long term. You've got to have this sort of like it's like the very visual defeat of what he's going through backstage. Like if they can replicate that.
But nobody gives a shit about that outside of us and the people listening to this podcast.
I think
casual wrestling fans.
Vince does care. Apparently. Vince. I mean,
yeah, but that doesn't matter.
The stockholders do. No, they don't.
No, they don't. The stockholders care more. If the stockholders cared about that shit, Brock Lesnar would be suspended.
Yeah, I think we talked about this before. Can you explain that to me? Is it the part-time talent thing?
Yes. Yeah. It's the part-time talent thing.
That's it.
And the same reason that The Rock doesn't hurt yet. Fucking piss tested.
Is the same thing.
It's the same thing. He's part-time talent.
Yeah, sorry, your phone's breaking up a little bit. If it gets any worse, we'll stop and reset or do something. But you're fine. Yeah. I think you're good. It just happens every once in a while. I mean, hey, lay off us. Lay off us. Guys, it is also probably the latest we've ever done a show.
That is true. Like
it's 1 o'clock in my end of the world, and yeah, I'm talking about wrestling.
So, as far as the whole like we all want to see Roman eat shit and go from the bottom back to the top. I guess we should be happy that he's going to the middle and then back to the top.
Yeah, no, you're probably right. I just think they're going to do it super quick, and I think within 30 days of a guy coming back off a wellness policy violation to come back and get a belt on him is just what sort of message is that sending? Because right now, and I mean, yeah, it'll change at SummerSlam when he wins the belt. But right now, that belt is the only belt, apart from the women's belt on SmackDown. Or sorry, on Raw. Well, tags, but
it was like they've got more
but
belts.
No. They do have more belts than SmackDown. But my point is, the U.S. belt is the highest ranking belt for a singles performer on Raw currently. So it should be like, I liked how Rusev did come out and sort of like demonstrate that a little bit. He's like, I'm the champion. We don't need another. Fine. I like that was an aspect to his character though. Like he came out and
and that just establishes him for a heel run at the main event later. Like that was strategic on their part.
Can you see him being a world champ?
I
love Rusev, but I can't see him being a world champ.
I would think if he was, it would be for a month at most.
Yeah, he's like a transitional champion.
Yeah, exactly. Or like, how do we put this belt on this person?
How do we put this belt on Cesaro?
Right. You put it on this person, and then you put it on Rusev.
Because they need to put that belt on Cesaro. Cesaro, oh, dude, we okay. Just talk. Let's just talk because we got to get Finn and we'll do all SummerSlam predictions, I'm sure, next week. But as I'm standing right now, I think Finn wins this match. I think Finn is the first Universal Champion.
I think he is. I think he is as well.
And I think at that point, he will hold it for a decent amount of time, but I don't think it's going to be that long. I think that belt will change hands within 3 months.
Yeah, and I don't necessarily feel like the first Universal Champion should hold the belt for like a year consecutively, but I feel like it needs to be a little bit, I mean, maybe the fact that it's a new championship.
That's kind of my argument with it, is that, yes, it's a new championship, so it's going to start, like, they have to build a lineage quick. So I think it's going to change hands a lot. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's dumb.
I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying it's what I just kind of think. Now, I honestly do think, to a certain degree, Finn doesn't need that belt. I think he needs it now to justify everything. To keep, because Seth can hold his own. Like, they need to put it on Finn so that they don't fuck up this whole Finn thing, because you've got one of the best guys ever that needs to be over with the full audience. And I don't think you can mess around. Like, I know he's a big name in Japan, I know he's a big name in NXT, but he is still so fresh and so new to so many people. Like, you have to understand that they have to market him right.
Oh, no, absolutely. Like,
to make this work. Like, they can really, and it scares me sometimes because I know WWE and I know they can really fuck this up. They can take a guy that is perfect and
hold on. Have they been exhibiting signs?
Not in the slightest.
So then why would you?
Because I'm a worrywart, Duncan.
Why are you worrying about some shit that you have absolutely no control over? If they fuck it up, it gives us more to talk about on this show.
I know. It's just, I like Finn, and
Yeah, I know. I do too.
And I love Seth too. It's not like that I don't think Seth deserves it either. Like, but Seth's already got a long, prosperous career ahead of him. Seth's gonna always be, until the day he probably, retires, a main event guy if he wants to be. Like,
I mean, that's the thing. So is Finn.
I just don't know that he's, I think they have to prove that to the main roster audience.
It's not going to take very long. Are you hearing the reactions he gets in every arena that he goes in? Not just NXT.
Yeah.
Like, the roof comes off of every building that dude's in.
I think another one of my worries too is I feel like how they treat Finn is how they're going to treat my boy Nakamura when he comes through. And so I want
and that's comparing apples to sushi. So like,
no,
really all that is.
But you know, it's also sort of like it isn't because of the investment that they're putting in people, and Nakamura is going to be awesome on the main roster. I just don't know that.
It's still going to be a little bit yet.
Oh yeah, I think it should be. I think it should be.
And that's the thing is like with Nakamura, Nakamura is an acquired taste. You know what I mean? Like, we love him because he's just like, wow, look at this fucking guy. He is incredibly charismatic, doesn't have to say anything, and it's awesome. But
and he kicks the fuck out of people. And knees the fuck
out of people.
Oh,
but that's the thing is like people don't like some people that doesn't translate in the same way that Kelsey's not a fan
of Nakamura.
No,
she's dead to me.
Well, I mean,
she's gonna get like 3 Sasha Banks shirts in the mail next week. Like
that's fine.
That's how I judge my anger level with Kelsey is
by how many
Sasha
Banks shirts.
Yeah, because Kelsey does not like the boss, so, and neither does my wife Teresa. So yeah, no.
So you have to buy 2 shirts of everything.
So no, I just send out shirts to the most hated wrestler, or their most hated wrestler. I send shirts to them all the time.
Absolutely.
And you get them, and you're like, because one night, Duncan, there's gonna be a night where she hasn't done the laundry, and it's the last thing left, and she just wants to go to sleep in a t-shirt.
No,
and
that'll never happen, dude. Like you know how many clothes she has.
Well, I'm just saying there will come a day that she will put that shirt on and she will say, okay.
Oh yeah, like when we go to WrestleMania and you just hide all of the rest of her fucking clothes.
Oh, it's gonna happen. I'm gonna make her wear Sasha Banks gear that whole week. Like I'm gonna do my best.
She'll have to wear the sunglasses.
And in fact, for your wedding presents, all I'm getting you is wrestling stuff, and all she's getting is Sasha Banks related merchandise.
That'll be perfect.
Yeah, she's gonna get figures. She's gonna get the figures, and she's gonna get.
Okay, all right. We got to continue. We got to keep moving on because we are way dragging this out, and I actually have to work tomorrow.
Oh, that's right. I don't. I can keep talking all night.
Right, and I'll just hang out.
What do you think they're doing then on SmackDown with the American Alpha thing? With this like NXT tag reunion, you call it?
I don't. Yeah, well, that's kind of what it looked like, but I think that's just because the only tag teams that they have on SmackDown right now are former NXT tag teams.
And I guess why not utilize that?
Right, exactly. So I mean, I would imagine they're probably going to do like some sort of gauntlet matches and like maybe a tag team tournament for the tag titles that don't exist yet,
which but have been announced. So
absolutely. So I think that would be the best thing to do is like make Alpha run through all these other tag teams. Don't make them destroy them. Make them put on good matches. Like have them put on decent matches with them, and then have Alpha
them be crown the first tag champs of SmackDown. Would you go that route?
I would go that route.
That's cool. I'd kind of like to see something like an upset, like a Vaudevillains or something.
I'd love to see that too. I just I don't know. I could definitely see that happening. Like the Vaudevillains, I think if you put the belt on them and then have them just be the smarmy heels that they are, that it gives American Alpha something to work towards.
Totally. Moving on then with just SmackDown, we will recap this quickly. We did have the Becky Lynch, Eva Marie, and the wardrobe malfunction. So they're doing that. Like, that's a thing that's a part of Eva Marie's gimmick now. Like, she gets out of matches.
That was just like, as I wrote on my notes, fuckery.
That's just fuckery. And then Alexa Bliss, I guess, came out. I didn't even see this part.
So what happened is Becky said that she was not going to go 2 weeks in a row without having a match. So Alexa Bliss came down.
Oh, okay.
And, annoyed me.
Yeah, she is very irritating. Like, on the scale of all the women. Like, we need that's something we need to do. Maybe we'll do that for next week. We're going to rank the irritatingness or the irritation level of every one of the female roster from like the ones that don't irritate you all the way up to the number
that
one
irritates you the most. I'm absolutely in with that.
Yeah.
The Randy Del Rio match was good until Del Rio, like disqualification.
He was just like, nah, fuck this. I'm grabbing a chair.
I think it was really more so that Del Rio didn't have to take another loss.
Oh, that's what Del Rio does now. He's just like, no, I don't lose anymore. I just grab chairs.
I just hit people with
chairs. Like, that's my thing.
Yeah.
Which I'm a kind of okay with. Like, he just, like, it kind of fits his character. I also think he's like really pissed off with the company right now. He doesn't look like a happy man.
He's not happy.
His boo got taken away from him.
Oh,
she's on the other roster.
Who gives a shit?
Not getting any TV time.
First of all, you've been together for 3 months. Shut up.
They got tattoos, bro. It's serious.
So next was Heath Slater.
I love what they're doing with Heath.
Dude, I do too.
It's great seeing him just getting to really do what
let loose.
Yeah.
Just be Heath.
The whole thing with Rhino. I mean, first off, he had like 3 segments because he had like the pre-match thing.
Yep.
Then he had his match, and then he had a post-match. But the first like pre-match with Rhino.
2 kids.
2 kids.
And an above-ground pool.
And then
4 kids.
4 kids.
But still an above-ground pool.
It's a very nice above-ground pool.
Very nice above-ground pool.
He's got to fund his match. That's how he's got to, that's why he's got to beat Rhino and get the contract for SmackDown is because, he's got to pay for his 4 kids in his above-ground pool.
Right.
Rhino,
and then it ended up
and
being,
then Rhino was all
kids?
like, hey, man, I do politics. Blah.
Well, right, but then at the end of when he did his post-match segment after he lost, and then Shane and Daniel were about to offer him a contract, and he was like, I got 7 kids, and then he just fucking walked out.
He yelled at Shane, and they were about to give him. They were about to give him a contract, Duncan.
I think that's going to be great.
Heath Slater was a made man, and he might have just stepped.
We'll
see. Stepped in it, didn't he?
We'll see. He's going to be on SmackDown.
You think so? Oh,
I do.
Man. Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so.
Hey, then there was Carmella versus Natalya, and then
first of all,
no. We move right on. Fuck that moonwalk, bitch.
Oh, I hate her.
She's no good without Enzo and Cass.
No, not at all.
But
she wasn't very good with them either.
She brought them down. If she were to join them on Raw right now, it would suck because she would actually take away from what they're doing.
Yes, absolutely.
And then, sorry, I keep interrupting you.
No, it's fine. We closed out with the tag team of Dolph and Dean versus Bray and Eric Rowan, which wasn't a bad match.
It wasn't. It was decent, and once again, here's Dean and Dolph and Bray and even Eric Rowan doing work, man. These guys, they're the ones that they're working every night.
Right, exactly. No, they're the workhorses.
They're the workhorses of the company, and that's what's interesting a little bit. I mean, yes, of course, Raw has them as well, but the ones on SmackDown are the workhorses. They might be the unsung heroes of the whole fucking company.
Oh, definitely.
Especially because,
no matter what, people are still considering SmackDown the B show.
And I think it's intended to be so. I think WWE knows 100% what they're doing. They know it's always going to be the B show, but it can be a better B show than it was before. And it was never intended to be the A show. It was never intended.
No, absolutely not. And then I'm okay with it. It serves its role. It does its job. But I mean, you've got great performers on there. You got great matches. They've made it look different enough, visually, that I don't feel like I'm just watching Raw 2.0. So
I think we do need to quickly just brush over a couple more quick things, if you don't mind. One of them being that Shelton Benjamin's now out.
That's a bummer, man.
A lot of people were really getting excited, me included, you included. I wasn't super familiar with Shelton because that's, again, from my dark period of wrestling. I went back, watched some matches, and dude, yeah, that guy can move. That guy can work. He would have been good. I can see how that would have fit in what they were doing now with American Alpha.
Yep.
I guess he's got, what type of injury was it,
I think it's like a shoulder injury, like a rotator cuff.
It's kind of a long-term injury, is what I was reading. Is
Yeah,
at least
like something that
6 to months ish.
right, like something that he can't just like go and fix and come right back.
Yeah,
Like it would
ain't one of those.
significantly alter the plans that they had. So
I think that really blows even for WWE, because it's like, oh man, like
right.
It's rare that we say that, like, I feel bad for the WWE, but it's
Yeah.
like, they kind of like, we're probably planning angles around this stuff, and I keep saying angles, but that's what you need to do. You bring
storylines, whatever you fucking want to say.
No, but bring back Kurt Angle.
Bring back Kurt Angle.
That's all we're saying. Just do it. Yeah, this is your opportunity now. Shelton, we were gonna do the same thing with him. Just bring back Kurt, and it's all good. Same shit. Same shit. Did we talk about Big E's nuts? I mean, we
talked about Doctors Anderson and Gallows, but no, Big E's nuts are ruptured.
We definitely need to just like say a quick prayer, for like, hail Satan for Big E's nuts. Let's get them better.
Hail Satan. Satan, please fix Big E's nuts.
Satan, have the power of positivity to please fix Big E's nuts.
Absolutely.
And then we do need to, I think we should wrap up on this. Talk about how sort of weirdly awkward that Austin Dean Ambrose podcast was.
Yeah, dude, like that was like, I don't even know what that was. Like, that was a little too...
Steve, dude, I love you, bro. But, man, lay off. Like, that was fucked. Like, some of that interviewing style, I don't know what you were trying to do, Steve Austin, but you were a dick.
Right.
And you were...
He's like, I'm calling you out. I want to see this. I want to see that. It's like, dude, like, he can't do that shit.
Even
like, what do you want him to do?
Even before that, he was just constant. He was pushing Dean Ambrose. He was basically saying to Dean Ambrose right in front of him, I don't like you as a wrestler. I don't think you're worthy of being a champion. I want better for that belt that I held. That's what Steve Austin was saying. That's the context that I got. Did you? Did you get that?
I mean, I watched it immediately after Raw, and I haven't had a chance to rewatch it. It was just so awkward, though. Like, it seemed like...
I felt Dean did a wonderful job of deflating everything and keeping it cool and calm and collected. And I gained way more respect for Dean than I've had, and I like Dean. But I gained a lot of respect for him in the way he handled that situation, and I lost a lot of respect for Stone Cold Steve Austin, and that's upsetting because Austin, you're supposed to be better, and I know what he was. I don't think any of it was malicious, Duncan. I just think it was. I think it was poorly said, poorly stated, perhaps, whatever. But he was, when he goes and basically saying that Dean Ambrose is relying on his laurels.
He said that he was resting on his laurels.
Yes, that's the term. But resting on your laurels is, and it. I really have to think about that term and exactly what that means. But at the end of the day, it means that you're comfortable in your own.
It means that you're going through the motions.
You're going through the motions, exactly. And that is one thing that I may not even be the biggest fan of Dean. I've come around. I didn't like Dean for a while.
No, you were definitely not.
I was anti-Dean for quite a while. I've come around on Dean. I'm not going to say I'm the biggest fan, but that is one thing that I don't think he does is go through the motions. I think Dean is a very, and I know it's his gimmick to be, the spontaneous lunatic, but I think Dean is actually part of that guy. And whether or not it's true, they made me believe it the other night on that podcast. So I guess kudos to them, whatever.
Right.
But even just, he's always trying to grow, I think, is the thing. And to say, for Stone Cold to say that, even in a sense, like, implies a certain amount of laziness, which...
Yeah, it was pretty It was uncalled for.
which was really fucked up. And then he made some sort of challenge to be,
Better
better
or whatever the fuck.
But out of all of that negativity that came with that situation, there was a couple highlights in the fact that Dean, it was great to hear him talk about or just describe that Brock Lesnar match.
Yeah. And how he wanted to do so much more. And of
Brock,
course, big surprise, Brock doesn't give a shit.
Doesn't care about the wrestling fans, doesn't care about. He's there for a paycheck. It's literally that simple.
And dude,
he wants to go in, look strong. He's going to refuse to lose. He's going to refuse to do any high spots. He's going to refuse to do anything crazy. He's just basically wants to do a Brock Lesnar match and suplex you until you die, and that will be the match.
And you wonder why I fucking hate Brock Lesnar.
I never really got it until that point. I got it. He's a douchebag, but I could see, he's the beast. I mean, there is a certain allure to what that dude could do to a person,
right.
Any person. I definitely feverishly understand why Brock Lesnar is the person he is. I don't ever get why the WWE think they need to rely on him.
Right.
And they've never needed to, they need to wake up, because I don't think in this generation now, especially with the way it's building, I don't think you need a Brock Lesnar all the time. I think
you don't.
And I definitely I get mad, it's easy to look at how much money he makes, and he goes and does whatever select dates his contract, it's so many less than any of the other wrestlers. It's ridiculous.
He does less than a dozen dates a year.
Yeah, it's
silly.
What I mean?
It's
silly.
6.
But at the same time, I'd rather that if WWE is obsessed or Vince is obsessed with keeping him around for certain things, I'd rather only see him for that amount of time than see him on every other fucking show.
Well, I mean, and for fuck's sake, don't put that goddamn title back on him.
You think it's going to be the blue and red titles?
I think it will be. Honestly, the only thing I don't like about that, I would rather them do the blue and red thing. Just don't have the blue and red be so prominent behind the WWE logo.
Correct.
Because they feel like the Universal Championship is going to look way too similar to the Women's Championship.
It looks almost exactly like the Women's Championship.
Right, except with a black strap instead of a white one.
Yep. It's same, it's almost the same belt. And that's why I hope they do something different. I really do. I hope they do something really weird. I don't necessarily want that to be the belt. They also did announce, by the way, that the cruiserweight, or not announce, there's rumors that, yes, the cruiserweight title is officially coming back to Raw.
Well, that would only make sense if you're going to have a cruiserweight division.
Yeah, but PWI Insider, whatever, they said it right before the show happened, so I thought it was worth mentioning. Those assholes over there. I think they probably do a wrestling podcast, but it's not as good as this.
No, it's not going to be
Definitely
as good as this.
Is not as good as this.
No,
what do you want? What do you want in the belts? Because
honestly, I told you as soon as they announced the brand split what I wanted with it. I want it to look like. I literally wanted them to make a carbon copy of the belt that they have now, except instead of having the red, swoosh underneath the WWE logo, it's a blue one.
That's it.
That's it.
That damn simple. Rather than having the whole background be blue.
Even the way the side plates are, how they've got the blue accent to it, that's even fine. Do that too.
Yeah, that could
it a
work.
little bit more. But I don't think that it's necessary to have
and I don't like the idea of essentially, because that belt is almost, it's got more of a red tilt to it than it does a blue one, and it feels like that belt is having to change color for the other belt Do you know what I mean? It's like, no, that the universal belt shouldn't be the red one, but
Right.
it should have been the other way around somehow.
Right.
But maybe
No.
that's the whole plan the whole time, was that Roman would have been holding that belt and been on Raw instead of
I
what
think
we're at.
that's exactly what it was.
Yeah. So there you go. That's probably it. We are gonna have to, take off for the evening, Duncan.
Glorious. No, I won't give in till I'm victorious. And I will defend.
Oh,
Dude, if
sorry.
you
I
still-
was fist pumping. It was
No, I know.
Yeah.
If you still had a MySpace, that would be the song that you would embed in.
Oh, it would be yes. Every page, every single one. Yep. No, I do think it is time that we wrap this thing up. I'm obsessed with this song. I will continue to play it. I think I need to apologize to our listeners. I'm not gonna lie. I had to wait for you to get off your gig, so we did this thing super late, and I may or may not have gotten a little drunk. So
Yeah, but you know what? Like, we have done shows with you way more intoxicated.
way more drunk than this.
Yeah.
Not the wrestling shows, but
Well, no, but like the actual shows.
Yeah. By the way, we definitely need to do some lucha things, some good lucha things.
We need to do a good lucha thing.
We need to do good lucha things, and we also need a good song for us to go out on this week. I'm kind of thinking, we're doing legacy clips here. All right, that's what we do when we go out.
Okay.
I mean, you like old school wrestling theme songs. We're doing
obviously.
like, all right. I'm typing this. Like, I'm thinking
I do.
of it as
I
do
know.
it, right?
I know that your brain is translating right to your fingers right now.
It's gonna be pretty good though.
All right, I'm ready for it.
When we get there, it's gonna be good.
Eagerly awaiting whatever old school majesty.
Why don't you tell the audience exactly how to find us?
Oh, well, you can go to ohnowrestling.com.
Hell yeah, you can.
Hell yeah, you can. And you can go to facebook.com/ohnowrestling.
Hell yeah.
You can go to, you can find us on Instagram.
What?
At ohnowrestling.
What?
You can find us on Twitter at ohnowrestling.
What?
Fuck, you can even find us on YouTube. But we don't have anything up there yet, so don't
but
even
it'll be
worry about
coming.
that.
Like, we're working
Yeah.
on that. By the way, way to blow our big announcements. God, you're awful at this. All right, it's time we get out of here. It's been a pleasure, my friend from Denver, the King of Bong Style, Duncan. I guess I'll talk to you next week.
Absolutely, my friend. It is, always a pleasure being on the air with the Shart Break Kid.
Thank you very much.
Cause the $1 Million Man
Remember, the $1 Million Man, he'll always get his way.
gets his way.
It's true.
Money,